Hello, students. How are you all? I hope you all are good. You all are doing very well. So, what we have done in the last session, we are just going to continue that chapter only. That is the changes around us. Exactly. And before starting this session, I would like to ask you that whether have you watched that session or not? Because if you have not watched that session, you have to first of all go through that. Then only you are going to understand today's session because it is very important first of all to know the basic of this chapter and then read about then we have to go the further for this chapter exactly. So now as in the last session what we have read, like we have studied about the physical and chemical changes, we have talked about reversible and irreversible changes, and we have seen so many examples also. Exactly. So what we are going to do today is that we are going to see different type of changes as well today. Okay, so now you are ready to do it. Fine. So, students, these are the topics which we are going to cover today. Okay, so these are the topics like difference in physical and chemical changes. I know that we have studied all of these things, that physical and chemical changes, their properties. But what happened? Na? Like in your exam, they are not going to ask you directly like what is the physical changes or what is the chemical changes. They'll ask you something different. That what are the differences between the physical changes and the chemical changes. So that's how we are going to look some of the difference between the physical change and the chemical change. Then it's about changes caused by the heat, that are changes which are causing due to the presence of the heat, or due to, you can say, there could be either condition absorption or there could be the emission as well. So that's the change of the heat. Now it's about fast and slow changes, periodic and non-periodic changes, exothermic and endothermic changes, desirable and undesirable changes. Now you'll say, ma'am, there are so many changes, and how we are going to learn all of these things? So don't worry about this, students. They are very simple. Like for like once you read now, it's like it's just going to stick to your mind, and then you'll not face any problem. Like from the words only, I can say that periodic and non-periodic and exothermic and endothermic, like it could be a different thing for you, but fast and slow, desirable and undesirable, by the name only you are getting the point that what could be the change, that type. Exactly. So now we are going to start our today's session. So starting with the differences in physical and chemical change. So these are the differences between the chemical and the physical changes. So one by one we'll discuss each and every point. Okay, so you can see that one side there is the physical change, and on the another side there is the chemical change, and that's how we are going to compare both of them on the same condition. Okay, so it's like first point. So first point says a change in matter which occurs without causing any change in the composition of the matter is known as the physical change. So students, if you remember from your last session that what we have read about physical change, that the physical change are those type of changes which we always see in the case of the physical properties, like change in shape, change in size, change in position. So all these are the changing changes in the physical properties, whereas their chemical composition will remain same. Exactly. So we can say that type of changes are the physical changes. And now you'll say, ma'am, what's the matter is? Matter. So students, you don't have to worry about it. Matter is something which occupies space, if I say space, and has some mass. For example, student, if I talk about this pen, so this pen is having some mass, and if I keep it somewhere, so obviously it is going to occupy some space. So everything around us, it is called as the matter. If we say that air could be the matter, exactly, air can also be considered as a matter because it is occupying the space of atmosphere. Exactly. So, and it is also having some mass because gases are there and gases are having mass. So that's why it is also having mass. So you can see that whenever there is a change in their physical properties in any of the matter or in any of the material, so we call it as the physical change. And although you can see there is no change in their chemical properties, as we can see As I've already told you that when there is the liquid water like H2O, it is going to be converted into the ice by the freezing process. So it is also the H2O. That means water is H2O. So you can see that the chemical formula is same for both of the condition. There is no change in the chemical composition. So that is why you can say these are the physical changes. It's just that its physical state has been changed. Okay. Now chemical changes. While a chemical change is defined as change in the chemical composition of the matter. Now, chemical composition is changing. Okay, that if I say now what's the physical in that physical the physical properties are changing. So in the chemical change there is the change in their chemical properties. For example, student, I have given you one of the example that when there is the burning of wood, so what happened, that wood is going to be converted into the ash. You can see that the wood is converting into the ash. These two are the very different thing. Wood is having carbon content, and when that carbon content in the presence of the oxygen get burned, so what will happen, it convert into carbon dioxide, and it also gives some heat and light as well. So you can see now there is the complete change in the composition as well. So when there is a change of the composition, so it will be a, you can see here that there is the carbon, there is the oxygen, and when they both are combining together, so there is the carbon dioxide. So now the chemical composition has been changed because carbon is having their properties, but the properties of the carbon dioxide is different from that. So that's how the chemical properties changes, but in the physical change, physical properties changes. So that's the difference between these two. That physical for the physical properties, chemical change for chemical properties. Okay, now we'll move towards the second point. So what's the second point is saying? Physical changes are reversible in nature usually. Just remember that we are using this word usually. So it's not like that every time. Like if you take each and every example, so no. But usually, most of the time, physical changes are reversible in nature, as we have seen in their properties as well. And you can see from this example that you can convert liquid water into ice and ice to water as well. So that's how you can say that physical changes are reversible in nature, like folding of sheet, folding of paper. So that kind of changes are the reversible changes. But if we talk about chemical changes, so chemical changes are often irreversible in nature. As you have seen that wood, on burning of wood, when there is a formation of ash, now you can't convert that ash back into the wood, or are you able to do that? Exactly, no. When you are eating chapati, so it's like that you are eating that, now you can't convert that again into the flour, that is in the powder form. So that's how these are the changes which are not which are not like you can say that which are not reversible, but yes, they are permanent. Okay, so there, that's how I can write down here that these type of changes are temporary in nature, but these type of changes are permanent in nature. So these are the two things. Okay, now that means we have discussed the 2 points till now. Now the third point says that students, no new products are formed when an object undergoes the physical change. That means when the physical change is going on, so there will be no formation of the new product. As when there, you can see, we can relate all of these points by taking very simple examples. Like we don't have to see different example for different points. By taking one point, you can define, like you can satisfy each and every condition. Like there is the liquid water, and when it is converting into the ice, and ice converting into the liquid, we can see there is nothing else is going to be formed. Now there is no new product is formed. But in the chemical changes, you can see they often lead to the formation of the new products. Like when wood is there, wood is burning, so it is going to be produce ash. For example, like we have taken the chapati, so when flour is there, so flowing is going to produce chapati. So that's how you can see some new substance is going to be formed. So physical change, no new substance, whereas in chemical change there is a new substance. So that's how this is the difference between these two. Now, if we see the fourth one, these changes have no impact on molecular composition of the same thing. Like here, there is the chemical composition, the chemical formula is going to be same, but it's just that there is a change in their physical state, change in size, change in shape. For example, you have seen balloon, like balloon. First of all, it is very small, but when we blow air into it, so it's like it change, like the shape is going to be changed. So that's how the only the physical state is changing, molecular composition will remain same. Chemical changes have a direct impact on the chemical bonds and molecular composition of substance. Exactly, students. When there is the carbon and when there is the oxygen, and when they combine, so there is the carbon dioxide. So it's just that when there is the carbon dioxide, student, so that's how you can see that the molecular composition has been changed. And even though you can see that there is some kind of bond has been formed between the carbon and the oxygen. So that's how in the physical changes you will not see any change in the molecular composition, but chemical change is because of chemical properties. Like when the chemical properties changes, so obviously student chemical composition is also going to be changed. Okay, so this is the difference. Now the last difference is that a few changes occur when cooling or heating is done. So that's the fifth point. Now why we are saying that cooling or heating is done, so you can, like, if you remember, I have told you vaporization process, boiling process, condensation process, freezing process. So what's all these are? See, when you boil water, so you are increasing the temperature, you are giving the heat to water so that it converts into the vapor. But when you freeze the water, so it's just that you are lowering the temperature so that it could convert into the ice. So that's how by cooling or by heating your changes are going to be there. Okay, so that's how these are the physical change. But if we talk about chemical change, so these changes involve absorption or release of energy. Changes involve absorption or release of energy. As you can see in this combustion reaction, there is the production of heat. So heat is what? Heat is the kind of energy only. We are having so many kind of energy: heat energy, light energy, source energy. So in the case of the chemical changes, either there is the release of the heat, like heat is going to be released, or either by absorbing the heat we are getting the changes. So that's how there is the chemical change. So all these are the points which says that physical change and chemical change are different from each other. Okay, and I hope now every point is clear to you and you know this thing that how they both are different from each other. Exactly. So now we'll move to our next topic. Okay. So next topic is changes caused by heat. You'll say, ma'am, why do you laugh? Actually, I was thinking that now I'm going to teach you some type of changes as we have seen in the starting. But now it's like changes caused by heat. Oh, so I was like, oh, yes, this topic is also here. So changes caused by heat. So you can see that the changes which are causing due to the heat, either by absorption or either by release of the heat. So that's how we are going to see. Heat is a form of energy. When heat is provided to an object, it goes under some changes. Exactly. See what happens, student. Like it could be physical, it could be chemical as well. Okay, if I say for the physical, it's very easy. When you start boiling water, so when there is water and start boiling it, so what do we see? There is the formation of vapors. Exactly. That means you are giving the heat to that water so that it converts into the vapor. So you are giving the heat. Exactly. For the chemical change also. When there is the flour and when you cook chapati, so that's how you are also giving the heat to that. Exactly, that the chapati needs to be cooked na, otherwise we can't eat that, it could be the raw one. So that's why we need proper cooked chapati. So that's how you give heat at that point also. So that's how you can see that for the physical and for the chemical changes, both are depending upon the heat. So we can't say that that heat is particular for anyone. It's just that by cooling or by freezing, or you can say for the chemical change, it's the absorption or the release of heat. Okay. Now these are the examples of it. Heating of ice and water or wax are reversible in change in nature. Sorry, while heating or burning of fuel fuels and woods are irreversible in nature. As like why we are using reversible and irreversible, because if you remember that the reversible changes are physical changes, and the irreversible changes are chemical changes. Exactly. So that's why we are having the examples of it. Like when we heat ice or water or wax, so these are the reversible. But when we heat or burning the fuels or wood, they are irreversible in nature. So that's how we are having the use of heat in both of the condition. But it's just that in one there is the reversible in nature and another one is the irreversible in nature. Exactly, like when there is the burning of fuel or the wood, you know this thing that they are irreversible. Fuels also, students, like petrol, diesel, or any other thing which are including into the fuels are something which gives a large amount of energy, which gives large amount of energy or large amount of heat when it gets burned, so that is called as the fuel. So wood is also a kind of fuel, student. And see, kind of a fuel, and we are having different type of fuels. So on the burning of the fuels, there is the irreversible in nature, whereas the heating of ice and the water, they are reversible. So that's how there is a difference between the physical and chemical. So but you can see that heating is there. Okay, now we are going to discuss the different type of changes that I was thinking before starting the topic of changes caused by heat. So it's like fast changes. So students, if you see fast changes, now from the word only, when the change take within a second, like or within a minute, so that type of change we call as the fast change. So as you can see that there is here, this is the dancing cracker. Exactly. So this cracker, and on the as every student know this thing, or every child know this thing, that on the festival of Diwali we generally used to burn cracker, but it's not good because it's cause like it can cause an environmental pollution. Exactly, but it's just that children love this thing, so that's why they do. So okay, that's fine. So that's how when there is the cracker, when you just give some kind of heat to that cracker and it just start exploding. So that's a student, when the changes occurs within a second or within a minute, so that type of changes are called as the fast changes. For example, heating of ice. Exactly. When you just move out the ice tray from your refrigerator out to of the refrigerator within a minute or within a second, what you'll find out that some of the part is going to be start melting, or you can see that there is the some more amount of water is going to be formed at that position. So that's how these are the fast changes. Burning of paper. Yes, burning of paper is a very fast change. You just have to give some source of heat or the that fire, and it just start burning. Stretching of rubber band. If actually right now I'm wearing the rubber band, otherwise I'll remove and I'll show that yes, stretching of rubber band is a very fast change. But you can also do that, you can stretch your rubber band and you'll come to know that it's a fast change. Blowing of balloon, bursting of crackers. So student, the type of the changes will just take a second or a minute to convert from one form to another form, so we call it as the fast changes. Okay. See, fast changes, it's like it so like I just go back because one point comes to my mind that fast changes, it depend upon the condition, whether it could be reversible or whether it could be irreversible also. Like bursting of crackers is a irreversible, sorry, it's a irreversible change. And heating of ice, you can see it's a kind of reversible, so it could be reversible, irreversible. But for the fast change, what we have to focus, when the change is going on, like you can see when the change occurs within a second or in a minute, that type of changes are called as the fast changes. Okay. Now slow changes. So slow changes, you can see that this flower is growing. Okay, or growing of plant. Okay, so you can see that it is converting into the strawberry. So that's how student, when the any of the change takes a month or a year, or you can say when it takes a long time of period, so we call it as a slow change. So for example, rusting of iron. So for the iron, student, what you can do, you can take one iron nail and you can keep that iron nail in the open surrounding. And after, if you start observing it, so from very first day, so first day you will not see anything. Second day, no. If third day you have gone to somewhere, so now you will not able to see that. But students, after 10 days, 15 days, 1 month, or if I say after 1 month, 2 months, what you'll see that iron nail is having a kind of brown color layer, which is called as the rust. So that's the rusting of iron is also a slow process, and it's a irreversible in nature. So that's how it could be, you can see that irreversible change. Ripening of fruits, that when the fruits start ripening, you have seen, or if I say growing of plant is also a kind of thing, that it's the ripening of fruits. But if I say growing of plant is also the example of slow change only, that when you start, like when you sow seed into the soil, so you will see that after some time, like within 1 month or more than 1 month, that plant starts growing, or even the 15 days, I can say some seed starts between 10 15 days, but it's like it will take some time. Exactly, growing of trees and other living beings as well. Exactly, it's not like that when we have born so we are this much, that when we have born we are this much, then we still so we grow like this. So that's how student that changes, which takes a time of the month or a years, or it's like more than a year or many years. So that's how we call it as the slow changes. So that's how fast changes which occur very fast. You'll say, mom, yes, fast changes are very fast changes. It's not like that when the changes are occurring within a minute or within a second, so we call it as the fast change. But if we talk about the slow changes, so it's a kind of the changes which take a long time of period, or as you can see, a month or a year or more than that also, so we call it as the slow changes. Okay, so that's the fast and that's the slow. Now, okay, periodic changes. See, student, periodic, like from the word periodic only, if you remember, you're having periods in your school. Exactly, or you can say sessions, or even though here also you are having your sessions like from 5:30 to 7:30, or from 7:30 to 8:30. So that's how you are having periodic session, like you are having a definite time of interval for that. Like in your schools also, if you're having 5 periods in one day, so it's like that all of the 5 periods are having their particular time of interval. So they are just you can see that they are coming after each other, but it is having some definite interval of time. So the changes which take place in a definite interval of time, we call them as the periodic changes. Exactly, student. Like in your school, if I say that the first period is for mathematics, second is for chemistry, and third is for physics, and that's how you can see that fourth could be GK and fifth could be IT or computers or something like that, and you are having the 50-50 minutes for each of them. So it's like you are repeating that first period for math, then after that 50 minutes, that all of that all of the periods are having definite interval of time, na? Like it's like for 50 minutes it is 50, it is 50. So you can see that they are having the definite interval. So that's how, student, these type of changes are called as the periodic changes. For example, day and night. Exactly, like day and night are having their periodic change, that after day there is night and after night there is a day. Exactly, you can see in the picture also, night, day, night. So these are the periodic changes. Changing phase of the moon. Exactly, like you have seen that the moon is having different phases. At some time it could be like this, at sometimes it could be like this as well. So you can see that we are having the different phases of moon, but it's just that they are repeating each other. So that's how it is also periodic change. Beating of heart, students, you can see na, like it's like what I can say, that that one heartbeat or something, so it will take a particular time of interval only. It's not like that that one heartbeat is taking 20 minutes, but I'm just taking an example. It do not take 20 minutes, otherwise you can imagine what could be possible. But I'm just giving the example, like one heartbeat is taking 1 second, or another heartbeat is taking 20 minutes. So how it could be possible for us now? So that's how beating of heartbeat is also having a particular time of interval. So such type of changes which occur over the definite interval of time, we call them as the periodic changes. Okay, and I hope you know, like you got this point. Now non-periodic, so such type of changes which are not having any definite time, so we call them as the non-periodic changes. Exactly, like burning of matchstick, motion of tides in the sea, swaying of the branches. So you can imagine, like periodic is one which is having the definite time of interval. Non-periodic is one which is not definite time. For example, like if I say that generally, what the thinking of the person is that we take three times of the food in a day. That like food, it's like breakfast, and then it is lunch, and then it is dinner. So it's a periodic one. But it's not like that. You can see that how it happens, like whenever we are feeling like we have to eat something, so we can see we can eat anytime na? So you say that is the non-periodic one. So that's how when when the change is not regular, or when it is not having the definite interval of time, so we call it as the non-periodic change. Like burning of matchstick, you have seen that if that is not a particular time that the matchstick is going to be burned, like in 1 minute it is going to be burned, or 2 minutes it will take, or 3 minutes it will take. It's just that it start burning whenever it wants to burn. Exactly. So that's how burning of matchstick is not having any periodic change. Same case with the motion of tides. Like when the tides has to be coming, like in the sea, so it's not having any particular interval of time na, that in the day it should be there, or at night it should be there. So it's just that we are having that these are the changes are non-periodic in nature. Fine. So when the changes are having some definite time of interval, so we call it as the periodic changes. And when we see when the time interval is not definite one, so we call it as the non-periodic changes. Fine. So till now, what we have seen, slow and fast changes. We have seen periodic and non-periodic changes. Now we are going to see some different type of changes. Okay, for the fast and slow, what we are saying that how much time it is taking to occur. But for the periodic and non-periodic, we are seeing that whether the definite interval of time is there or not. Exactly. So that's the difference between the slow and fast and the periodic and non-periodic. Okay. Now these are the third type of changes, like fast and slow done, then periodic and non-periodic. Now it's the turn of the exothermic and endothermic. So so student, what happened now? Like exothermic, if we talk about, or if we talk about endothermic, so these are the changes, student, which occur on the basis of heat. Okay, so exo is a type of the change which occur when there is the release energy in the form of heat or anything else. And the endothermic is a type of the reaction which occurs on the absorption of energy. So that means it absorbed the energy, and then we'll see the change. And this topic is you are going to study in your class 10th as well. So you can see that you are going to study it right now, so it could be a good thing for you. So what are the exothermic changes? So exothermic changes are chemical changes which releases energy through light or heat, like when they release the energy. For example, burning of wood. I have seen you that what's the burning of wood is, that is the combustion reaction. So when there is the burning of wood, if I say that is the carbon in the presence of oxygen when it starts burning, so we have seen that there's the carbon dioxide plus heat plus light. That means you can see that heat and light are going to be released. So you can see that when the heat and light is going to be released, so it's a kind of the exothermic change, and it's a combustion reaction. Okay, for example, student, in the case of the winter season, when we have like there is a very high, like oh sorry, very high, not high temperature, very low temperature. So what happened na, that we start feeling cool, like that how much cold is there, and we want some kind of heat, and we are not having heaters. So what we can do now, like we can collect some of the wood logs and we can start burning it. And from burning it, what we are getting heat. We feel very warm, very nice, because there is a release of the heat energy na. That's why there is the burning of wood is the exothermic change, that when there is a release of heat or the light in the form of the energy, such reactions are called as the exothermic reactions. Okay, mixing water with a strong acid or a strong base, like when you add water in the strong acid or a strong base, so there is a release of the energy. Why, student? You can see here that this is the laboratory picture. If I show you again, so in that you can see that there is a release of so much of heat, you can see in the form of the vapor kind of thing. What happens, student, like the strong acid and strong base are very strong in nature, how that they are very dangerous as well. Like you can see that strong acid or the strong base, if we talk about hydrochloric acid or and sodium hydroxide, they are very strong in nature, that if by chance if a drop of this strong acid or a strong base drop over your hand or over your clothes, so it can cause a severe burn. So that's how they are very dangerous to handle. That is why in like generally in the laboratories we don't directly like we are not going to directly use the strong acid and bases. So that's why student, when we add water into that, so there could be the explosion as well, or you can see there will be a release of energy. So that's how these are the exothermic changes, when there is a release of energy. Okay, so that's the exothermic. Now as I told you for the endothermics, that like it absorbs the energy. So you can see here, and endothermic changes are changes which absorb energy from its surrounding, usually in the form of heat, like melting of ice into water. See student, when there is the ice, when it starts melting to water, so at that point, like ice is having a low temperature. When the temperature increases, that means heat is there. Exactly. So that ice converts to water. So you can see when there is the really absorb of the energy, so that's how you can see one form is changing into another form, but due to the absorption of the energy, that change is going on. So that type of changes are called as the endothermic changes. Vaporization of water. Exactly student, when water absorbs the heat, then it converts into the vapor. Cooking, as I told you, like when we cook chapati, we need heat, na, that floor, that you can say that absorb the heat, and that's how we get the proper cooked chapati. So that type of changes are called as the uh, endothermic changes, when there is the absorption of energy. So like in the endothermic, absorption of energy, and in the exothermic, release of energy. So that's how you can see that there is a difference between these two. And obviously students, you are going to see these topics in your class 10th as well. So note it down, make a very important point about them, exothermic and endothermic. Even though when you are going to your not only in your class 10th, when you are going to your class 11th, 12th, even to your colleges, if you are studying chemistry, definitely exothermic and endothermic will be there, and there is the same thing. Yes, more things will come over there. I'm not saying that no new thing is going to be added up, but there are more advanced version of it. But the definition, the particular point of the theory of the exo and the endothermic changes is going to be same only. So that's how student, endothermic changes are what? Endothermic reactions now. So that's how exothermic reactions are those reactions which release energy, and endothermic which absorbs energy. And we have seen the example as well. Okay, so we have complete slow, fast changes, periodic, non-periodic changes, exothermic, endothermic changes. Now we are going to see the another type of changes. So first, it is the desirable changes. So desirable changes are what? The changes which we desire, like which we want to occur. Okay, so desirable changes are those changes which we want to occur. For example, like it's a desire that today, what I can say, okay, for example, there is a potato. Okay, and now today, what my mother is saying, that I'm going to make a vegetable, like something mash up of the aloo. Oh, aloo is a Hindi word for potato. Okay, so don't get confused about potato. So I can write down that aloo. Aloo is a Hindi word. Hindi word for potato. So, like my mother, there are two conditions that my mother wants to make some mashup kind of thing from it. Not that mashup from music, not music mashup like she wants to like beat a potato, and that's how she want to cook something. But from that potato, what I want french fries. Now you can imagine french fries, the difference between the french fries and the mash. There's a difference now. French fries, it's like yum. So that's why, so you can see that now what happened, Like your mother loves you so much, so what she is going to do, obviously she is going to follow your desire. So now from the potato you are getting french fries. So what kind of change it is? It is a kind of desirable change because you want to occur it. And these changes are generally useful for us. Exactly, like ripening of fruits, germination of seeds, change in season. All these are the changes, student, which we want to occur. Like change from the winter to summer, summer to winter, because we can't always live in a winter. Like the people who are generally living in such area, they are having adaptation to it. But like for me or for some other people also who have a habit of changing of the season, so we can't do exactly. Like if it is the summer, 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 so we can't take it. And if there is only winter, 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 we can't. So we just want the change of the season. So that's why these are the desirable changes. Germination of seeds, ripening of fruits, sunlight, any so you can see that the changes which we want to occur na, so these type of changes are the desirable changes. Now undesirable changes, that the changes which we don't want. For example, actually I got a good example, that due to any festival you are getting 5 days off from your school. Okay, and now when these 5 days has passed on and like everything is done, now at the sixth day, what you have to do, you have to visit your school. Exactly, so now you have to visit this your school. So now this type of change you don't want to be, because what happened, like I'm not saying that all of these students who don't want to go school, there are very so many students who enjoy that particular like what I can say, that part of their life. But it's just that what happened, like when we are having 5 days off, so what happened, we are in that mode that okay, so relax, only enjoyment is there. But now from the sixth day, for example, if I talk myself, like right now I'm doing a teaching job. If I'm getting a 5 days off, so I was like, oh my god, like I have got something very good for my life. Now I'm going to enjoy, I'm going to do this, do that. But very sixth day, when I realized, okay, now from today I have to start my job again, so it's a kind of burden. So that type of change, like at that point what we realize, should we take 1 day leave, or should be there, like there should be 1 day more so that we can enjoy. So that's type of changes that which we don't want to occur, so we call it as the undesirable changes. But it's like going to school, going to jobs are a very common thing, so I'm just trying to explain you. So the rusting of iron, like if after the rusting of iron, what happened, like iron is going to be damaged completely, like you can't use it properly. So that's why we don't want that. Souring of milk, exactly, like what happened, like one day I'll tell you what happened. Like in my house, like we bought milk and we boiled it and we kept it for some time in the outside only, because like when the milk is very heated na, so we can't directly keep it into the freezer. So what happened, it's a summer season, and after some time I just like we just forgot to keep it into the refrigerator. So what happened, that milk got so we can't use that. So that's type of changes we don't want, that our food or our vegetables are going to be destroyed or damaged ones, so that we can't use that. So these are the changes which we don't want to occur. Rotting of fruits and vegetables, exactly. Global warming, oh my god, anyone wants global warming? Exactly, no. Because global warming can cause so many things, like pollution is there, heat is there. And even though when glaciers are melting, so you can see that the water level is going to be rise up and it could cause a disaster for people. Exactly, so that's how these are the changes which we don't want to occur. So that's why these are the undesirable changes, or you can say non-desirable changes. So the changes which we want to occur happily and that are very useful for us, so that's are the desirable changes. But sometimes some of the changes are not very good for, but they are but they have to be there na. So that's why these are the desirable one also. uh, so and the undesirable, when we don't want that change to do not to, like when we don't want to uh, what I'm telling you, undesirable one na, that undesirable one are those type of changes which we don't want to occur or don't want to take place. So these are the difference, like we have seen fast and slow. fast, which take within a second, slow, which change take a very long time of gap. So these are the slow and fast, periodic and non-periodic. For periodic, the changes which are having a definite interval of time. For non-periodic, which are not having any definite interval of time. That the day and night, like this is a periodic change. But if we talk about the tides in the sea, or we have like, so actually you can see here, burning of matchstick. So these are the non-periodic. Then exothermic, endothermic, like release of energy is there. Endothermic, when absorption of energy is there. And desirable is that which we want to occur. Exactly. Undesirable, which we don't want to occur. So these are the changes, student, which we are having, and these are the examples for them. And see, students, like the what type of question, that this difference between exothermic, endothermic, or they can give you directly examples, like for example in your school, or in your exam, or in any of the exam, it comes like this thing, that rotting of fruits and vegetables, kind of a change, desirable, undesirable, or it's like that, they can give you any two other example also. So that's how, on the basis of that, you can give the correct answer for it. So that's how these are the changes which are occurring in our surrounding, and that's how, and you can see that it's not like that every time there is a change. Like right now I'm sitting like this, and now I'm just moving my hands, and I'm just talking to you, and if I just stop talking, so that's what these all are the changes which are going on. Like you can't even say how many changes are going on. And sometimes exactly the all changes, we don't know that what type of changes are going on. But you can see that the world is so big. So many changes are going on at every place, at every point, at every second, I can say. So these are the changes, and we have seen the type of changes, like on what basis we can say that it's a fast change, it's a slow change, or it's a desirable or undesirable one. So these are the changes, student, and with that we have completed this chapter. Okay, before completing this chapter, we are having one question. So, Andrew added a spoon of salt in a glass of water and stir it. The salt disappear. Which type of change is this? Like when the salt is like when there is a glass of water, and when we have add salt into it and we stir it and salt disappears. So what kind of change it is? So till then, when we have add the salt, so that point it is a kind of the chemical change, because the salt is not going to be like, you can't see that salt again. But when you heat that what salt to salt solution, so what happened, like when there is the vapors formed of the water, so what we are getting salt only. So that's how we are getting salt back. So that is a kind of reversible one. So that's the physical change. But when you are dissolving the salt into the water and it is disappearing, we are getting the new compound formed. So that is how there is the chemical change. Exactly, students. So that's how you can see that this is the, like you can see that the type of the changes are going on everywhere and every time, and these type of question can be asked to you. So, and with this question we have done with this chapter, and we have revised and we have seen all of the type of the changes. And what you can do is, student, like please watch these two videos with a great attention, and give your time, give your best, and try to research over the type of changes more. Like whenever you are going some place, just observe that whether it is a good change or what kind of change it is going on. So, and you'll remember, okay, I have seen fast, slow, endothermic, exothermic, and then it's like that you'll start revising your chapter. So that's how, give your time to your chapter, because it's a very good chapter, and some of the points you are going to face in your higher classes also, which is going to help you a lot. And students, what's the thing is, after watching this video, after watching this session, if you are having any question, any query comes to your mind, what you can do, you are having a very good option. You can post your question over the private or the public forum of the Ask IITians, and definitely, student, you are getting your answer, and that's how your chapter is going to be perfect for you. Everything is going to be clear to you, and it's just that. Thank you so much for watching this video and giving your time, and keep learning from Ask Ideas. Thank you so much.